Is on Tuesday, November 8th. Nick.
All right, Nina, thank you. I'm joined now by Charlie Spies. He's a campaign lawyer. And full disclosure, Charlie's a Republican, but as they say, you don't have a dog in this fight. You are supporting neither candidate. So thanks for being here. First question. I think we can agree this is probably the most policy-filled debate we've seen of the three. What did Donald Trump need to accomplish coming into it, and did he do so?
He had the tougher task because he's down in the polls, so he had to create some memorable moments, and he also had to focus on the voters who were undecided, and those tend to be women, specifically married women and independent voters, and I don't know that he did anything to move the needle with that group of people.
Okay. One moment he did have when Chris Wallace pushed him, he would not commit to accepting the results of this election if he loses. Is that remarkable to you, or is that much ado about nothing?
It is a big deal, and something we've seen from the previous debates is that as important as what happens at the debate is how it gets spun in the days after the debate. And unfortunately for him, I think he walked into a trap here. And over the next few days, the media, who aren't fans of his in the first place, are just going to focus on that, refusing to accept the results of the outcome of the election. That doesn't make him look good, and I think people across the spectrum are going to have problems with that.
Hillary Clinton had her problems tonight as well. One particular moment when Trump was hammering her about her experience, 30 years, what has she done? Another point when she was asked about the WikiLeaks emails. How do you think she responded to those questions? Because they have dogged her.
They have, and if Trump didn't have his own issues that were a little bit sexier, no pun intended, that were occupying the news, then we'd all be talking about WikiLeaks and the potential corruption at the State Department, and I think that'd be a big problem for her. She's a very accomplished politician, was able to pivot off that subject, so I think his supporters threw up a big cheer when they heard him pushing on it, and also Chris Wallace making some very serious points on it. But I don't think any of her supporters are going to drop her because she was attacked by Trump on that.
Were there any other moments where you thought she did well or did especially poorly tonight?
She was clearly focused on solidifying women voters, and she really hit Trump hard about his comments about women and other groups, the disabled and other types of minorities, and that's, I think, politically really smart because it's playing to the swing voters. Her hardcore Democrats and hardcore Republicans have already made up their mind.
They have.
She's the one being strategic and playing to undecided voters, and I think that was smart, and she was very effective at it.
Trump was effective, especially in the early going, those first 20 minutes, did really well sticking on policy. Near the end, however, there was a moment, and since we were talking about female voters, Clinton was responding to a question from Chris Wallace, and Trump interjected, quote, such a nasty woman. Is that going to stick, do you think, and will that hurt him more?
I think it's very likely you see that in some ads. I think I cringed, just as a political professional, I cringed when I heard that. Having said that, the people that are offended by that were already offended by his comments about Miss Universe and his bragging about sexual assault. So I don't think it makes a difference in terms of the outcome of the election.
Yeah, because we've seen, and the polls have shown he has a floor of about 40%. And if the video didn't hurt him, it's hard to believe maybe that comment would as well. This was the last of the three, so there was all this buildup coming into it. In the remaining time, we got about 30, 45 seconds. What's your impression of these three debates between the two candidates?
They got progressively better. This was the most substantive debate.
It was.
This is what people wanted to see at the beginning. I think the challenge for Donald Trump is he's behind and he needed a game changer, and he didn't get one.
All right. Charlie Spies, campaign lawyer with lots of experience, and we do appreciate you being here to talk about this very much.
My pleasure.
All right. Now, if you would like